Alright, so I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog, and I'm about to quote the man here because this was supposed to be fourth step on the Florida Odyssey. And the man was supposed to come out and talk about whenever he's walking around with his salt and pepper pompadour-esque hair remembrance, the remembrance of his full head of hair. He still has a pretty nice little head of hair on him. Salt and pepper, it looks like a widow's peak. The women, especially all the white women, they flock. Some of the other kinds of women do too. They're like winking, they're smiling. He gets a lot of smiles from all the women. None of the young, hot white women wink, or even the 40-something hot white women wink. But any kind of Spanish or black from about the age of 23 or 24 up, they wink, they smile, they say hello. The man's quite a charmer with that age bracket. The other thing is, once you get to like the 50, 55 range, now all of a sudden the white women come back in the picture. And the main thing about the man during this Florida Odyssey is these like 75, 80-year-old women are always coming up to him and going, oh my God, like a beacon of the white male. I got to get with this guy because he's going to help me find out how to do the parking, how to put money on my card for the laundromat, for the laundry facilities at the beautiful elitist, whatever you say, it's like an elitist compound that the man's cousins own down there about 28, 30 minutes south of Miami, right on the ocean itself. On the Atlantic side, obviously, like Miami, everybody. Come on, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the man, he's waltzing around, and so he got the nickname because all these elderly white women, they identify with the man. They're like, the man, he's my best hope to not get cheated, even though probably it could have been like a couple of, the black guys or Spanish guys or whatever kind of guys could have helped them. They probably would have had a little enjoyment for a little while. So, hey, God, I got to help a little white lady. It was amazing. Some guy is a Latino brother, very macho, a lot of machismo, a lot of, whatever it is about them that's so cool, so distinguished, so debonair and regal. And I was helping this white woman. It's really interesting. She was 80 years old. She was so happy because at first she thought I was going to try to strike her and steal everything from her. Then she realized I was going to help her. She was still suspicious the whole time, but then finally we said hello, goodbye. And she's like, I love this guy. She wanted to give me a hug over here. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like that. What it's going to be like is a little bit different, but it's all right. File that away. That could be what it's like. You never know. This is what I'm going to say. He got the nickname from these little old white ladies of the white guy. And he took it a little seriously. And at some point, he started wearing a cape. He bought it for like $18,000 off of eBay. He started wearing some kind of a cape. And he started running around saying he was a superhero called the White Guy. At some point, he got a sidekick called Jet Black. Was this really robust, really tall, like a Lawrence Taylor type of, tall, big, dark black guy. That would be, he took on the nom de chlore Jet Black. Anyways, the craziest part of this whole fourth step, I'll turn it over to the man, he can tell you. All right, dog, so I'm going to have to whisper this because I was walking around, I'm like, I'm the big white guy. I got the cape. I'm white guy. I'm like a superhero. There was this really hot Latino girl, thin waist, really thin little thing. It looked like she was made out of pipe cleaner. She was so thin, had a beautiful head of jet black hair. She was like, sexy and all tattooed up, and she had piercings everywhere. She looked like she could have been 40 or she could have been 24. You look at her in different things, different lights, different depths of perception, different fields of view. You know what I'm saying? You're like, whoa, geez, this girl's 24. I was like, so hot. I want to get with this girl. There's tattoos, everything, the piercing. She's dark skin. Her sultry, sexy voice. She had a sultry, sexy voice like a movie star. Turns out, after I've been walking up and down the halls winking at this girl and saying, hello, how you doing? And she says to me one time, she says, hey, my hero, because I let her in one time, the building. She didn't have her keys. She whispered, hey, can you let me in? I was like, yeah, no problem, honey. Beautiful, hot Latino girl, go ahead. After me. Turns out the man admits, I mean, I'm stupid dog. I broke character there. I go back into the man. The man said, dog, it turns out I have to whisper this part. I think that is the, I'm saying, the formerly known as a man woman that got living right next door to us. Remember everybody's talking about we had they used a derogatory term. I thought they said tranny or something like that instead of a transgender individual. And her pronouns are her. It's obvious it's a her, I'm like, geez, The man was like, this guy over here is like a good-looking girl. He makes a good-looking girl. Hey, when I was vacuuming one time, my father said, you're going to make somebody a good wife. This girl over here, this guy who's now a girl, make somebody a good wife someday with a vacuum cleaner and a doily over her ass, whatever. I'm just kidding. I'm a young, stupid man. I wasn't even thinking that way, but then I started thinking that way for 2 seconds. I was like, nah, it won't work out for me. I'm do whatever you say. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at the man. I was like, yeah, you are whatever you say too much. You are. A little bit, whatever you say too much. Man says, what am I going to do? Live and let live. What am I going to do? What are you going to do? The man was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Don't worry about it. This was the fourth step in the Florida Odysseys. Fourth step in the Florida Odysseys.